What's up, people? Happy Friday. Happy Friday in the building. I'm very excited. I'm very excited at me having a guest. But before I talk about him, let me just give you the intro. So, shout out to New Thought Media Network. Shout out to them giving me the space and the opportunity to grow. For those of you that don't know, I am fighting my second stroke, and sometimes that plays with me. Sometimes it plays with my speech and whatnot. So I'm still working through that. Which reminds me, I got to tell you guys that my brother has been telling people that I was in a hospital. Now, the video he's talking about. I posted this video yesterday, and this is just a little video. This is like 20-second video. Let me just play it really quickly, and here it is, very quickly. Say hospital swag, and then it kind of breaks down a little bit. Photos, right? And then just some random photos from the hospital. And I forgot that people don't really pay attention to the various things. So my brother thought that I was still in the hospital. I was in the hospital 2 days ago, but it was very brief. It was a very cursory visit. But I was there 2 nights ago. But that's it, though. It was just a thing that happened very quickly. So I am fine. I am fine. For those of you that are asking, I'm fine. All right. So anyway, that said, you guys saw the poster, I assume. Here it is. Hanging out with Brian today. Talk about Forex. So I'm gonna give him a drum roll, and then we're gonna get started with Mr. Brian. Here we go. What's up, man?
Hey, good morning or good afternoon, wherever everyone is in the world, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, all right. Happy to have you. So tell us, for those that are uninitiated at all, tell us what we don't understand about Forex. Like, why should we care about what Forex is? So let's start with that.
The first thing I would say is Forex is not a scam,
Yeah,
right? Right, let's go ahead and get that out the way because because some people are under the pressure due to certain circumstances of it not playing in their favor. They will back talk and say negative things about Forex, which is um what which people are telling part of their story and that's telling the rest. But Forex is foreign exchange market, which is the largest market as in value on money that's moving around the world because what it is, it's accounting for every transaction that's going around in the world, what is pretty much controlling the market and the forex. So forex is similar to stocks. You know, you could invest in it or you could trade it. I would say majority of the people trade forex versus invest because you know the difference is investors you just put your money there long term. You want to see it grow, kind of what you do like IRAs, any type of savings account, CDs on that size. That is more of an investment. Trading is you get in for a certain amount of time and then you get out, or
Right.
some people call it day trading. So that is a little quick summary of forex.
Okay. And how did you find Forex? Like, how did Forex get dropped into your world?
It's it's funny because I was one of those people that thought forex was a scam, right? So I didn't have no interest in forex at first until my little brother. Um, I am a family of 8. I'm the oldest.
Oh,
My
wow.
little brother, littlest brother, Savon, he's 7. I'm the number 7th child. And he hit me up. Oh, we call each other by the numbers sometimes. So he's 7, and his name is Savon, right? And I'm number 1. So he hit me up, interested in making money, investing. So I thought he was on some same thing. I thought it was a big old scam thing. So I ended up doing my own research and coming across different companies that has been identified as being a scam, which you know I don't want to backlash other companies. So I don't want to say their name, but there are other companies that are out there that are more on the scam side, which I understand why people think is a scam. So
Mm.
after doing my research, I did my training, and I did fall on this one very, very, I would say, exciting, very informative company or community, which is the live trading lab by Swaggy C,
Okay.
which a lot of people are familiar with.
I've heard of
And
them.
I'm only saying that because that was and still is the foundation that moved me forward through my forex journey. So
Mm.
that's how I started.
Okay. So what happened financially? Like, what happened? Where did you go financially? What did you do? Like, your brother called you, said, "Hey, have you ever tried this out?" You said, "Yeah, I want to check it out." And then what happened to, like, for you to? Well, how much did you make? Let's say it like that. How much did you make? How much did you grow?
All right, so for the first 2 months, it was all training, studying, soaking in all the information that I need, figuring out how I want to capitalize on the market. Once I figured that out, I would say monthly, I started making between 30 to 40,000, but that's only because I
Well, hold
was
on.
being funded.
Let's just give that a moment. 30
Per
$30,000 per month. That's incredible.
month. That's
That's
yeah.
incredible.
And like I said, it's all because the grace of God. I'm blessed that everything just falls into place because I knew nothing about this, but I still did my part in learning on how to trade. I don't want people to just to be like, oh, I just want to trade forex, and just start dumping money into it, and
Right.
then think it's just gonna come that easy, because it did take long 60 long days to
Mm.
get, just the foundation and how you want to enter and everything with the market. But once I started making the 30 to 40,000, it's not because I use my own money, which is another good thing. We
Okay.
have these companies called prop firms,
Mm.
and they will allow you to trade with their capital, which is amazing. So
Wow.
you got to put a little bit in. You got to put a little bit in. They give you a lot out in return. All you have to do is make sure you are trading within their limits or their rules, and then they get a percent after end of the month. So at the time that I just started, I was getting 80% to 20. So for everything that I made within that month, I would take 80% and then they would take 20. So I did that for a couple of years, and now I'm
80% of
waiting
how much?
for
80% of how much?
of whatever my profit is for that month.
Okay.
So if I was to make 50,000 for that month, then I would keep 80% of it, and then they would keep
Wow.
20%.
Wow. They
Yep,
only kept 20%.
only
That's
20%.
incredible. Wow.
Hey, that's a deal. Like, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that at all. All right.
Mhm.
So was 50,000 the largest of these deals?
50,000. I think um the largest I made in a month is maybe 85,
Wow.
85,000.
Wow. That's
Yep.
incredible. That's incredible. That's some big shoes you're walking into. Big shoes you're walking into. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it all plays out. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but then your family start attacking you, so that's the part that you gotta you gotta prepare for.
Right. So speaking of which, it's not all win all the time, right? There's some losses in there as well, right?
Yeah, there are some losses. That's why you have to have proper risk management. You will take some losses, but as long as you limit the amount you lose, you win more, then it will balance out overall within a 30-day time frame.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. So before pre-show, we were talking about you being at work now. So tell us about how work comes into play now. How does this work
Uh,
along with your forexing?
okay, so for those who do trade that may
Mhm.
know, um, they may think. some people may think, oh, I don't have enough time to do anything else but trade, right? That is definitely not the case, right?
Wow.
I'm a swing trader. The amount of time you spend on the charts obviously is going to dictate on what you're going to do for the rest of your life, right? So you don't want to spend hours behind the chart and take that away, because those long hours you could be doing something else. You could be spending time with family. You could be spending time working. You always want to have a source of income prior to dedicating your time to trading, because what will happen is you will be so locked in into making this traded thing work. If it doesn't work, you'll start forcing trades. You'll have all these mistakes. You'll start losing money. You'll put yourself in a financial bind, which you don't want to do. So make sure you always have a steady flow of income prior to trading, right? So me, I joined the Navy when I was 17. This is way before I even thought about training.
Right.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I joined the military.
I'm in New York too. I'm talking to you from Hell's Kitchen, New York City.
Okay.
Right here.
I just what section do they call Hell's Kitchen?
Hell's Kitchen is to the north, south, east, west of Times Square.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's the first time I ever heard someone call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never.
Yeah, they get fancy with the names now. They get fancy with all the names now.
Yeah, some people used to call, what is it, Soho? That's what I'm used to.
Oh yeah.
Like Soho, out of Chinatown. You got Uptown.
Right.
Stuff like that. Those are the old school, because I'm old, but Yep.
Well, so now that I took us off schedule, sorry about that. I want to talk about what you just were talking about trading and losing your space because your mind is cluttered, right? Because I just told you I was in the hospital a couple of days ago, and I was trying to do something. I was like, well, let me trade Forex. Let me trade Forex right here, right now. And I got up to $35. Now, I know that's very small for you, very small, but I got myself up to $35. And I was like, ooh, $35, that's great. And I kept on trading though. Even though I was upset about the things that were happening in the hospital. And I was distracted and I was annoyed and I was upset. And then I saw that 35 go down to 18. I was like, all right, I gotta just cut it. Because otherwise I'll keep doing it. So first of all, what kind of advice do you have for me? Some, and I remind you, only $35 down to 18. But what kind of advice would you have for someone like me?
So it depends on what size your capital is, right? So if you started off with, I'll say $100. If you started out with $100, $30, that's 30%. If you don't look at it the right way, then it's gonna come off the wrong way, right? Okay. You gain 30%. So my goal when it comes to trading, I want every trade that I'm in, I want to gain at least 3%. I want to risk 1% to gain 3%. You literally gain 30%. So if your capital was bigger, right? So imagine here's another example. If you was funded and you had a 100K account, if you convert that over to percent, which you just did, you made $30,000. That's exactly what I do. I just had a bigger capital. So you pretty much made the same amount as I did monthly, but you did it in a couple of minutes. But your capital wasn't there for you to see that real bigger number, right? So don't really, at this point, if you go to start with something small, look at the trading is always about the percent, because once your capital grows, you will see that, all right, $30 don't seem that much, but $30 compared to $100, it is definitely a lot because it's 30%, right? So the more capital you get, the more you understand that is always about the percent and not about the number. So 30, even with $18, that still was good because
Right.
that's 18%. People don't make in a savings account, right?
Yep.
What's the interest rate per year? The APR, what, 1%?
Yeah, like
You know what I'm saying?
if even. Right.
Barely that.
Yeah.
So you already surpassed that.
Right.
Right? Anyone could do it, right? But I wouldn't say anyone will do it. Anyone can do it, but it's all a mental thing, as you see. But at the same time, once you understand that it's more about the percent per capital, then you'll be like, it'll flick a switch in your mind, be like, okay, let me focus on the percent because once I increase my capital, my that percent would not change. If I make 30% off of 100,000, I'm making 30,000. If I make 30% off of $1 million capital, I just made 300,000. Right. So the more you increase in your capital is how you will become successful in the forex market.
Okay, I just got to put this comment up from Fee King, my fiance. She wrote, $35. A slow nickel beats a fast dime.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah. So, are you saying then that it's time for me to increase my what I've
Your
got,
capital?
my capital? Like that's what you're saying now? That's what I'm doing next?
I would say continue to practice or continue to train because
Yeah.
right now, for you to feel bad that you was kind of upset about Luke going to 30 and then dropping down to 18,
Yeah.
you're not ready, right? Mentally,
Okay.
you're not ready because
Okay.
in the event that you do get that on a bigger platform, you may still be the same way. You still may have that same mind frame, like, oh, I'm not. I could have did this or I could have did that. The thing is, when it comes to trading, stick to your game plan, and you just have to accept the outcome. Are you willing to, once you put your money into this market, if you lose your 1% or if you gain 3%, are you satisfied with that move? Before you put your money in, you just have to understand you have to be 100% satisfied on the move that you're about to make because don't get in and then you like, oh man, I should have never did. No, that's not how it goes. Like you put it in, that's it. That's all.
That's it. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. And so when you're talking about when you were talking, I've watched some of your videos on Swaggy's website. So
Hmm.
when you're talking about like, what is it like finding the second of of candlesticks? Like that's something that I shouldn't be worried about yet. Like
What
you
you mean,
find
second of candlesticks?
like you find I forget what you call it, but you find a candlestick and then you find two more candlesticks. And then you're
No.
like,
All
okay, like, yeah,
right, so it's part of the strategy, right? For anyone who's this yeah, it's more a little bit more advanced
okay,
because, like you said, for those who don't know, they this is going over their head right now,
okay,
right? So this is
okay,
definitely going over their head. But for those who are have been trading and is a little, I'm not gonna say advanced, more of an intermediate and understand price action and structure. Um, what I look for in a strategy is an impulse and then a correction. Which you was talking about, the
impulse,
correction has to be.
impulse. What's the impulse? What do you mean?
Impulse is just one big move either up or one big move down, and a correction or retracement is will be a slow movement in the opposite direction. So
Opposite
the
direction.
impulse will be the one big move, and then the retracement or the correction will be like the slow little movement coming down in the opposite direction. So the
Okay,
retracement is just an opposite motion. Yep. So
okay,
it's just an opposite motion. And the two daily candlesticks, which you were referring to, was the correction or the retracement. So
okay,
in a strategy, yes, I look for an impulse and a minimum of two retracement candles, but the retracement candles can't be like big. It can't be the same as the impulse. It has to be so if this is your impulse, right? You want your retracement to be like, I would say like something like this. Like probably come
Okay.
down but this much. You don't want your impulse to come straight down because that means you getting matched, right? So you have a whole bunch of buy, but you getting matched with sales. You don't want nothing to do with that because now you don't have a real direction on what price is going. Price is gonna continue to go in a direction if you have a slow correction or slow retracement.
Okay. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, let's fill it in for you. So you see around the screen here, there's all these hashtags. So they're not clear, but what he's talking about is the red and green hash marks. Hash marks, like
Candles.
candles, the candles,
Hmm.
red and green candlesticks. And so he's talking about the how one sets itself up versus another one. Like that's very cool for me because that lets you know that of those charts of candlesticks, there's a language to be told. There's something coming out from there that's telling us something. We don't know what yet. In our
Hmm.
boat, we don't know what yet, but we're getting that sense that yeah, there's
I like how
something
you put
here.
that. I like how you put that.
Oh yeah, what I say?
That it is a language or a story that has to be told, which is
Yes.
absolutely correct. Yep.
Yes, yes. So I promise that I will look for that. I will just look for this and
Hmm.
that, and then continue with my 35 degrees. Come keep my $35 and keep that and I'll do that for now. I'll just work on that. Looking for the impact candle,
Impulse.
impulse candle, and the two follow-up candles.
Retracement. Yep.
Retracement.
Retracement.
Retracement. Yeah, I'll get up on that. I'll get up on that. Okay, so now that I got off on that, tell us about the book Naked Forex. You said you read
Oh man,
you
that
read
is
one book, and I was
that was a game changer. Yep.
like let me before he says anything, let me tell you this. Like I've been reading about people like Brian and people like this that are in the industry. And I'm like, and they always have this long list of books they read. They read this, this, this. And then Brian was like, nah, I read one book. I was like, one book? So now please tell us about the book.
All right, so I don't know. Maybe my mind works different because I'm an engineer by trait when it comes to my military background, right? I'm an electronic warfare engineer. So there are things that I see clearer maybe from others because I look at the overall outcome and I work my way backwards to see how that happened. Right? It's just how I was trained. It's just maybe how my brain is wired. But the naked forex, um, to go back to that, when I first started, I was looking obviously during my training phase, I was looking for these things called indicators. Well, indicators are um I would say a calculation of price action that helps the trader identify trends, um, maybe direction. So there's countless amount of indicators. And when I first started, I was thinking, like, hey, maybe I could just find an indicator that could tell me, when
Right.
to buy, when to sell, how to get in the market, how to make some
Yeah.
money,
Me
like
too.
a quick fix. But
Me too. Me too. Yes.
to
Go
give
ahead.
you an answer, the answer is there's no indicator out there that could give you a quick fix on how you could capitalize off the market. It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
So what made me realize that was the naked forex.
Mm-hmm.
So the naked forex, I forgot who the author is. I'm pretty sure, or it's called naked forex. I don't think I have a. You'll know when you find the book either the naked forex or naked forex.
Naked
And
Forex.
yep, and after reading our book, it is very clear to what it states, which it says that the price action, yep, that's it, that price action creates indicators. So once you learn price action, you already ahead of the game, because for an indicator to be generated, it has to calculate certain movements of the price action. So as the price action is going up or down, then obviously the indicators are generated. But what that means is the indicators are delayed, right? The indicators are reading what price action is doing, and it's coming out with these little formulas, lines, symbols. So I was like, skip that. I don't need an indicator. I need to learn the price, what price is doing, and that's what uh that's what the NECA Forex open your eyes to see, learn price action for those who are really into trading.
Okay. All right. So I'll say to anybody who's watching,
Mm-hmm.
buy the one book. Buy the one book, Naked Forex, because apparently that's the one book you need to have. That's the one book. The one book you need to have.
One book.
By Alex Nerkitten. Neckwritten. Alex Neckwritten. Here you go. Naked
Yeah,
Forex.
there you go. That's the magic. That will open your eyes to understand the market way above than any other book. Everything else, will the books that people tell you to read, is more mental psychology, but there's no book really that could fix your psychology no matter what. There's not even counselors that's educated that could really help your psychology. Is really how you accept and move forward, really. So there's really not a book that I could say, me personally, that could help me understand. But that NECA Forex, when it comes to price action, you got it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna ask you one more question before I let you go. Tell me why people are saying that December is a difficult month to trade in. Why do people keep saying that?
Because they don't know no better.
Oh, bravo.
They don't know no better. They don't know no better. So for you to understand each month, right? Because they say, oh, it's a holiday, people not trading. That's not the case.
Okay.
Because if that was the case, that means that if you look at the charts, you can even look at the charts in December. If you don't see a flat line going across, or you don't see the market closed, then obviously something is happening there.
Right,
so you may get less movement, some, or not pair, right? That might just be that pair that you're looking at. You may get less movement, but first of all, there's other countries, there's other currencies, and a holiday for the US may not be a holiday for Dubai. Right? So
that's a good point.
If the US is not moving that much in the US, I'm pretty sure there's another country that trades with the dollar or make purchases with US dollar that's going to make sure that money is still flowing. Right? For right now, we're still buying oil, transactions with US dollars. US dollars is still like the number one currency around the world. So December doesn't stop people from be like, okay, it's December. No one else is spending money for this month. Man, if anything, that's what people do the most shopping in the US for Christmas. So how could people say, December is a slow month because the banks is holidays? Just to tell you, I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want people to look at December of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the charts. The charts will tell you everything, right? People could come up here and say whatever, but just focus on the charts. If you look at December, since I'm not on a computer, just pick up here, look at December, and see if it's going up. Then obviously it's still trending. You still could trade it. If it's going down, Same thing. You still could trade it. It's still trending. Now, like I said, there are some that may be going sideways, which is a range, but not every pair in the forex market will be going sideways in December. And you could go back to last year. You could go back to the year before that. Just take at the charts and see. Get out of here. Take a look
Okay.
at the chart on December every month to see exactly what the market is doing. Don't just jump. Like I said, don't even just jump to what I say. Like go see it. Go take a look for yourself. That way you can say, oh man, people say December don't move, but I'm looking at the chart and it's like going through the ceiling, right?
Right.
So
Right.
and then they try to say, oh man, I wish I would have got no, don't, because you listen to other people. Whatever the charts tell you, either you trade or you don't trade. Like that.
Right. Right. So once again, for those of you guys listening, a pair is like a grouping of two money markets, like a US dollar sign and Canada, right? Like different dollar signs picked together, right?
Different currencies for different countries. Yep.
Yeah, that's what he was saying when you were talking about pairs. So
Hmm.
yeah, man, this was great. This was great, bro. This was great. This was fun having you. Thanks for all the information. I'm gonna have to have you come back on and assess me as I move from my $35 helpful things. But yeah, thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, no
And tell
problem. Thanks for
everybody,
having me.
yeah, tell everybody how they can find you.
I'm on the live training lab. Uh, I don't even know the link, but if you do a search, just do for the live trading lab. I'm on there. I'm answering questions. I'm helping people make money. I'm helping people financially grow for themselves, either if it's for like the family to help them get out of poverty, or if this is something that they want to do for the future. But I'm on there every day helping people out as much as possible because that's what I feel like my calling is. So I'm
All
here.
right, that's what's up. I will definitely be one of the people asking you questions. That would be me. That would be me
Okay.
asking you some questions. All right, man. Good having you. Talk to you later.
If you could, just post a link in the description down below, or to help other people, exactly where to find their live training lab, so that they are aware of how they get in contact with us.
Okay, we'll do that. We got some homework to do. We got some homework to
Yep.
do. All right. I'll see you later, Brian.
All right, bro.
All right. So that was great. That was great. I ran over time. I did so well, talking to my man. We ran out of time. And so we're just going to close up really quick and say thanks for watching. And remember that now is better than perfect. Now is better than perfect. All right. I'll see you later.